Okay, good morning, everyone. This is Michael Venezia, uh, head trader and one of the coaches at TradeGATEHub. Let's get into it. A little after 11 o'clock Eastern. I apologize about being a little bit late. I was actually rearranging some things. No disrespect. I'll try to do better the next time. Okay, let me log into TradeGATEHub right now. I log in just the same as everybody else. It's that easy because the same thing we do here in TradeGATEHub is we're a team. And try to not be hypocritical. It's not my acumen to begin with, but try to uphold even the steps that we take to have a process. Process is very important. I'm a big believer in the process. Okay, starting with that. This morning is this. First of all, this being Wednesday, we're obviously closed on Monday, overstock breaking higher. So what I would urge everybody to do is all the data that I put out is the most important, which being yesterday, which is the first day of the trading week. So go to the YouTube channel and check out what I said about what I say on the first day of the week is really, I try to be dynamic and try to say what's going on now, give you a little bit of taste of maybe what I think is going to go on, throughout the week. So including a lot of indicators and maybe a lot of where firms making macro calls, a lot more opinions over the weekend reads than really targeting trades, because basically as Monday morning comes, or Tuesday for this example, it could be basically irrelevant. So get back to the YouTube channel. I digress. I'm focused. Okay, starting with today. All right, we have some Fed speak coming up on later today. Okay, keep that in mind. Always on TGH posting upgrades, downgrades, the calendar for the week, the calendar that I repeat on the day. It's part of the process and what we do to get to build up a plan. Without a plan, you have nothing. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Very important information that Gerard posts. He's very good with sentiment and positioning and retail versus CTAs. Basically, he's trying to time things, but he's using, at least if he's trying to time, he's using and I'm not alone in this opinion. This is what to use. So thank you, Gerard, saving me a lot of posts. And you know what? Sometimes I miss this. So please, I'm not placating, G. Go over this. Is an important situation. Where are we at or are at in the market right now? Because if you do go back and watch the YouTube channel, or I could go up further, but please, it saves time. Goldman position, they're actually lightly positioned to the upside, if you will, or overly positioned. For example, they're above zero. Hedge funds, we know for some time have been chasing the market up to a degree. You saw that in some trades today. So, a lot of how we trade. I mean, anybody could tell you, could read a balance sheet or do an EPS or tell you, that something's touching the 50-day, blah blah blah. Not to be passive aggressive, but we do a lot on sentiment positioning, and then we take stocks that are acting range with good volume and good price action, predicated upon where people are positioned. You know what I mean? So if we did it today on our first trade was on Boyle. First day, maybe it was the second time I touched it since this. I digress. Paul, all over the place, by the way. He's praising good charts. And he played out nicely. Also, Paul has no ego because he says when he's wrong. And we like that. Best thing. Cheers, Mike. Another day in paradise. Okay, Jim Cramer. All right. This was an indication of where the market basically sits. I'll go to my screen right now. This is my universe, as you should know. This is my macro situation. Stock picking still. The VIX had a nice move, but not really pulling back as much as it should. It was up nicely this morning, but you had a stock. Tesla pulled back. Meta's still holding nicely. Google's mixed. Amazon's up as Netflix is down. Netflix is down. Roku's up. What else do we have here? I traded the CWH nicely. That's there. Fang had earnings. That was a decent fade. I'm short some wicks. That was up huge. So markets are mixed again. Nevada, I said 1,000 times the big boys were short that of mine. I wasn't in it, but I wanted you to try to get in. ExxonMobil, in my opinion, is I might be jumping ahead. ExxonMobil, in my opinion, to a degree, is holding the market down. It's the XLE. The XLE is actually the reason why the market, I shouldn't say that, is staying somewhat strong at this point, because it's giving a signal to rotate, for example. Airlines are basically positive, or they were down. Now they're positive. So that's why the VIX is still somewhat muted, although I like where it is, and I'm going to go back to Coach's 9:30 video to see where he thinks about that. But still, there are a lot of places to hide. But Exxon, like I started off, this is actually very bullish for the market doing this because, like again, it's a smooth understanding of what's going on right now in the market to a degree. So ExxonMobil, I'm looking at, and that's how I interpret it. Exxon, there's the chart. Chevron, there's the chart. I'm not from Boston, I'm from Long Island, but I hung Devon Energy, ever since it had that black eye, with now doing a bull flag, in my opinion. And I love concentrating, everybody knows. Here's the weekly, flip that upside down, I go long the stock next. You know, that was the one to really start to break. EOG, which was a former best of breed right here. And there was FANG, the real FANG stock, which I always show my universe. And FANG should be here because it reported. There was a stock, by the way, that ran to all the moving averages, sans the 200-day, and then when it broke that, so that FANG reported earnings, you know, did the rip and the dip as it should, scared everybody out, 134 to 142. Actually, I wouldn't shake about that much, $6. Excuse me, I wouldn't be the putz that would short the open 134. I wouldn't short it up $2. But certainly, even if it did the opening range breakout, it broke the open, you know, 136. The high of the day is 143. I'm just using this as an example. Trade's over for me, and it's probably going to waffle until it breaks the open, 134 maybe. But FANG being a former best of breed, it could still be a best of breed, still looks better than a lot of them. How the stock is acting through earnings, reason to either sell the rumor, buy the rumor, sell the news with volume. Actually, it doesn't have a lot of volume, but the stock closes on the low with some volume. With earnings, it's definitely a reason, or as Coach would say, distribution, a reason to sell. As we look at the XLE again, you know, it's hold the 200-day, but what are the reasons for stocks what are the reasons for the XLE in general for it to hold the 200-day as the other ones, Chevron, Exxon? Well, Exxon is probably the reason why the XLE is holding the 200-day, but you know, I would say that ExxonMobil is more likely to test the 200-day. Correct. I'm open to opinions, and the XLE is more prone to break the 200-day, maybe shake people out, maybe stay below the 200-day. But if the XLE is going to actually break or stabilize, you want it to break the 200-day as Exxon tests the 200-day, and then it shakes everything out. For example, Devon washes out with a lot of volume, maybe near 49 or below 50. So that's how we look at the oil trade right now. But I'm not really on it that much. I'm looking at it more of a macro view. So I move on, and I'm going to continue. I wanted to point out Jim Cramer about how he doesn't trust the bonds and a lot of cross currents. So what does it say? Well, there's a lot of cross currents. It actually takes a lot of pressure off a lot of traders because they don't really have to figure out the market. They can just play the movements, and there's nice movement with volume and range and good price action. So next, let me finish the routine. Okay. Bonds are determining stocks. All right. So we opened up in the hole here. And that's another reason why we're actually somewhat calmer, because we opened down a little bit. Actually, we're down in the morning, opened up a little bit. Right now we're flat. So we're oversold. Maybe the oils make a bounce up and take us out of oversold. I'm not sure yet. I'm not really trying to call the market at this point. It may be just me. With the market a little bit oversold here at the moment, it may be. I'm not really trying to enter new positions now. It'll just give me a little bit more confidence in the positions that I might have. I don't necessarily think that I want to add, because stocks are still wild as you speak. So I'm really, as always, even more so, because it's not really a trending market. You have to really determine where you get your prices. Don't be a sucker. I don't want to be dramatic. But you know what I mean? Don't be that guy. You go buy a BMW that's priced at 55,000. Don't tell the guy, I feel like giving you 60. Don't do that. You know what I mean? I did that in my 20s, and it didn't get me very far. And that's where I learned to put an ego aside, both in life and trading. It's worked out very well, if I can pontificate. Next, short-term trading sentiment. All right, read this about the Goldman Sachs equities color. S&P's worst day of the year. Read it. It might be hard. Oh, hold on a second. Hey, Tony P. Sit down. I digress. Hold on a second. Tony Pistachio acting up. Unless it's Goldman or Morgan Stanley, don't be barking. Okay, I continue. That's the first time that's happened in years. It's probably the last time because I'm like, come here. Next, it's probably going to act like Oreo. All right, so listen, read what Goldman Sachs Equity Color about why they call this the worst day of the year. Why? You know what I mean? It's a normal Tuesday. It was yesterday was a normal Tuesday in February. Granted, it was coming off a 3-day weekend. Okay, next. Bank of America client flow. I'm not neutral on opinion. This is just what they're saying. I mean, I'm not giving, I'm neutral. Goldman Desk about the CTA update. Read that again. Always posting retail lost crypto money as a whale sold. You know what I mean? All right. Earnings guidance was last night where they sat this morning. Helene on natural gas DSI was at 9. Just to complete transparency, and it should be. I don't know why I'm apologizing. It just, I think somebody called me out one time. There was my price yesterday on Boyle. My average price was $471. Here's Boyle. You know, close to what, 438. So I was up. That's a big, you know, I was up down 11,000. I think this morning it was a 428. So Boyle, I go back today. I was a little early. What's going on here? Share screen. I was a little early. All right, 488. I started selling some right here, 471. I still have some, but you know what? I have a 475 stop. A lot of overhead supply, but you know what? It was getting to be crowded. 3 days of climactic selling. Everybody that I knew says it was going to zero. You know, the trade's over for me. I have a stop. Like I said, I had some of it right there. My average price was 471. I did sell some a little bit above my average price this morning, 472 or something like that. Then it dipped to 463, did the rip and the dip. And then it's where it sits. You know, I'm probably going to punt it all as I don't like it. Let it go back to 5. I was early. I don't like the triple ETFs off the bottom. You know what I mean? It's a trade. Do I think I'm going to walk away and look at UNG? You know, after there's a cold, you know, and say I could have had this thing and it goes to 50-day at 12. I'm not going to look at it like that. I was wrong to begin with, and I was, you know, I mean, I predicated on the timing. So next on Boyle, but I wanted to bring in the fact that even Helene, you know, who trades a multi-treat TGH guest, said that natty gas is 19, and that was really, you know what, when everybody, it was a trade. You know what I mean? It's a psychological trade, or more than anything. Next, bad sign here. Lots of recent stage 2 breakout attempts at full on black below breakout levels. That's very bad. I can name 100 of them. Literally, I can name 100 of them. If you give me the moment. Shopify, Nevada, AMD, GFS, AEHR. So there's my chart on Nevada. Coach loved it. My boys are short Nevada. I said that, you know, a day ago. So when I say my boys are short Nevada, I'm not just talking about the guys, you know, that I play golf with. You know what I mean? So here's Nevada today, right here on the up open. My boys are short the Nevada on a double top. You get to do 210, then you get to 206 as earnings. Let's see what it happens. They're still shorted. Risk to reward, you know, what the market's doing is a lot of these stocks, like a Twilo coming back right now. Shopify, oh man, it had its chance, 53 to 41. Shopify. So a lot of these stocks, how was Asan? ASAN. Oh, Asan was floating at 2019. Now it's like, look at all these. You name any of them. Planeteer. I sold it this morning. Sold 15,000 Planeteer. Boom, boom, boom. Where is it? Why does it only say 200 shares? That's incorrect. 1,000, 3,000, 68, 600. That's in, well, I guess the triangles. Anyway, I sold it all at what? 857, went to 856. Planeteer, why'd I buy it? I thought it had the nice maybe 4-day down, which is bad. It's holding the 200-day right here at the top right, the 818. Do I want to do it now? Maybe if I want to do it in the fund. I don't like the way it came back down. It did go up on good volume. Came back down on decent volume, being decent volume, which more, you know, before it had good volume, it came back down on good volume. You get the picture. I don't want to waste time on semantics. The chart's right there. Okay, Nevada. Big boys are short Nevada. Why not? There's a chart on the SPYs, short on the Qs. Coach recognized the winner. Nice look. All right. All earnings. Yields. posted it this morning. Listen, go over it all. I'm going to get back to what's going now. Gerard's hot, by the way. Follow Gerard. AU, I bought AU. Everything's self-explanatory. Tesla. No, Tesla's no good. I sold all my Lucid. No, I think XLE, Gerard, XLE, I believe, has to go lower. And I think the market has to go lower before the flush, if it's a flush. I'm bearish on the market now to a degree. I'm not overly positioned. Like I said, I'm adding to the VIX, but I'm not buying stocks on dips now. So I don't. If I do, it's going to be a very, very small position. I'm not even approaching to trade. You know, even if the positions go wrong or not my way, I'm not looking to add or trade out of them. I'll wait. You know, I mean, it's the middle of February for crying out loud. Matter of fact, I shouldn't say that. Doesn't matter what date it is. I don't care if it's December 31st. I'm saying allocation for fun wise. I'm not in a rush. I never am. But I'm an active trader. That's why I want to get off and actively trade. I digress. What's everybody doing now? We'll look at Wise Guy's situation because that's really important. Bullish hedging. Okay. TSM puts past. They're bullish on silver. So is Coach. Baba bullish. Baba earnings. Tomorrow before the open. Baba bullish. I wouldn't put too much credence. This is what you want to put credence in right here. Put call. Actually at the moving average, nothing's doing anything wild. That's why the VIX is still steady. What am I interested in here? Nothing really. Overstock. I said that before. Overstock. Look at this overstock. I mean, somebody's going to take a chance on overstock. I get it. It's lotto calls for me. You know what I mean? Dinner money. I wouldn't do any more than that. Overstock. The range from 19 to 21.35. What a move. How much volume? 2 million. That's decent volume on overstock. All right, overstock. I'll trade it just like CWH. You know what I mean? Why take the risk? Noted though, it calls. Uber, Meta, PANW, they're still buying it. G Money. PANW, Boyle, they're buying Boyle. What are they buying in Boyle? January 24th call, 24 calls. How can they be buying that? What's today's freaking date? It's got to be February 24th. January 24th. Am I in the Back to the Future? What's today's date? It's freaking February. A crude update. This is more important. They're going to a 4. A 4. Crude due for a little bit of a bouncer, especially if you're holding it to 74.49. Crude a little bit bouncer. Maybe this is the spot if you want to try. Baba, MBLY. Listen, Roblox look like a little put writing. I don't get it. RRC, natural gas play. When I went, this is so intelligent. When I went to look at the Boyle trade or the UNG trade, now I'm looking. Stocks, look at UNG now. Stocks follow the commodity. So when I wanted to take a position, I'll leave with this on natural gas. I said, let me look and see what the natural gas the stocks are doing. So when I see this, RRC, natural gas source, multiple sweeps as well. And it reports, whoa, and it reports next week, daily. So I looked at RRC. So I said, all right, RRC is a nat gas play. Why is my thing staying here? I can't stand that. How do we get that off? Taskbar. Get that thing off here. I don't like that taskbar there. Malfunction. Anyway, next, RRC. So I looked at RRC, which is arguably one of the better natural gas plays. If I didn't have my thing here, you could see it had some volume at bottom yesterday. So I thought UNG might have, or the Boyle might have a chance. The Boyle. SM, another natural gas play not going. That's not good, but that one had so many sweeps for a while. So I'll leave it with that. SM might not be bad either. This is bothering me. I can't put it behind me. This taskbar. Unlock the taskbar. Help. All right, next. I got to put that aside. Freak about that. All right, so let's close up. You're at GLD. A couple of things. Yeah, okay. Here I'll show now. Larry, former guest, chiming in, trying to hold the 170 support. I'm with you, Larry. That's why it took some AU. and some NEM. Thanks, Laverne. Okay. Also, Europe's closing. Let's keep an eye on that. So as Europe's closing, let's keep a little bit on the flow here. Crude, as I said, holding. You know, you want to do a little schnitzel or a trade. That's fine, as my task bar is not fixed. I'm being obsessive now. All right. Anybody have some questions? G-Money? Anybody wants to really do your homework now? This is what everybody should do. Go to maybe Stock Scanner. This is all you need. If I was, on a desert island, this is what it would be. What's look, high on relative volume? Big movers, 8, 10, 25, 8% on 2, 3, 4 times volumes. Big names too, PANW. We mentioned it. Win, Billy, BKD, Toll. We didn't mention it. Alcoa upgraded. Pets, PPL, Fang. We mentioned it, of course, and we should mention it with professionals. On the downside, Baidu brought that up. Overstock brought that up. TJX brought that up. VFC, I'm long that. Point. VFC, what are we going to do? It's a fun stock, I'm not going to lie. And we're looking right here at VFC. Hopefully it's capitulating. You never want to have a fun stock with the word capitulatory there. I might add to it. I'm in for the long haul with this. I'm not long, they do have a divvy. I'm not long a bunch of retailers across the board. VFC, is it above yesterday's high, which is be more important? The answer to that is no. Actually, they would like to be on the 2560. All right. Any questions? I'll be on. Remember, have a plan. Thanks for sharing. Cheers. I'll post the earnings for tonight and pre-market. Until then, trade well. Have a plan. Thanks for sharing.